Imagine standing at the edge of a 1,000-foot cliff and feeling absolutely nothing. No racing heartbeat, no hesitation, no instinct warning you to step back. Imagine walking into danger with complete calm because the emotion that once protected humanity for millions of years has suddenly vanished forever. At first, it sounds like freedom, but in reality, it may become the fastest path toward human destruction. Fear is one of the oldest emotions embedded inside the human brain. Long before civilization existed, fear kept early humans alive in a world filled with predators, starvation, disease, and violence. The people who feared danger survived long enough to reproduce. Those who ignored threats often disappeared from existence entirely. Over millions of years, evolution carved fear deeply into the nervous system because fear is not weakness. Fear is survival intelligence. Right now, as you listen to these words, your brain is constantly scanning for danger without your awareness. Tiny structures like the amygdala rapidly analyze threats before conscious thought even begins. When something feels dangerous, your nervous system responds instantly. Your heartbeat increases, muscles tense, attention sharpens. Hormones flood the body, preparing you to fight, flee, or survive. Fear is not simply an emotion humans experience occasionally. It is part of the biological machinery keeping you alive every second. But humans have a complicated relationship with fear. People often speak about fear as if it is the enemy. Motivational culture glorifies fearlessness. Movies celebrate fearless heroes. Society admires people who appear emotionally untouchable. Deep down, many humans secretly wish they could erase fear entirely because fear feels uncomfortable, limiting, and painful. Anxiety destroys peace. Fear prevents risks. Fear creates insecurity and hesitation. So imagine if one day humanity finally achieved the impossible. Imagine fear completely disappearing from the human species overnight. At first, the world would probably celebrate. Millions of people suffering from anxiety disorders, phobias, panic attacks, and trauma would suddenly feel relief unlike anything they had ever experienced. No more fear of failure, no more fear of rejection, no more fear of death itself. Humans would feel emotionally liberated in ways almost impossible to describe. People who once lived trapped inside anxiety may finally feel mentally free. Socially, the world would transform immediately. People may speak more honestly because fear of judgment disappears. Individuals might pursue dreams they once avoided for years. Creativity and exploration could initially explode because humans would no longer hesitate constantly under self-doubt. Without fear, society may experience a temporary wave of boldness and emotional openness unlike anything in history. But beneath that apparent freedom, something terrifying would quietly begin happening. Humans would start losing caution itself. Because fear does not only stop irrational behavior, fear also prevents fatal mistakes. Without fear, people may underestimate danger constantly. Reckless driving would increase. Violence may escalate. Dangerous experimentation could become common. Humans may begin taking extreme risks because the emotional system designed to signal danger no longer functions. Scientifically, we already understand some of what this might look like through rare neurological conditions. Certain people with damage to the amygdala experience drastically reduced fear responses. Studies show these individuals often struggle to recognize danger appropriately. They may approach threatening situations calmly, even when survival instincts should activate. Fearlessness in these cases does not create superhuman strength. It often creates vulnerability. Imagine children growing up without fear. They may touch fire without hesitation, walk into traffic carelessly, or trust dangerous strangers because the emotional alarm system guiding caution no longer exists. Fear teaches boundaries early in life. Without it, learning survival through experience may become catastrophically painful. And then there is morality. Fear quietly shapes ethical behavior far more than most people realize. Fear of consequences, fear of harming others, fear of social rejection, fear of guilt, all influence human decisions constantly. Remove fear completely, and society may discover that many forms of order depended partly on emotional restraint. Not everyone becomes compassionate simply because fear disappears. Some individuals may become more impulsive, aggressive, or destructive. History already reveals what humans can become when fear weakens under certain conditions. Crowds often behave differently when anonymity removes fear of consequences. Power sometimes corrupts because people stop fearing accountability. Entire atrocities have occurred when individuals no longer feared moral or social boundaries strongly enough. Fear, despite its painful side, often acts as an invisible regulator of human behavior. But perhaps the most disturbing consequence would involve death itself. Fear of death influences almost every aspect of civilization. People build homes for safety, create medicine, avoid danger, form governments, and seek meaning partly because mortality terrifies them. Some people may become astonishingly courageous. Explorers might venture into dangerous environments fearlessly. Scientific advancement may accelerate because researchers take risks previous generations avoided. Humans may even explore space more aggressively because fear no longer limits ambition. But at the same time, many individuals may stop valuing survival itself carefully enough. The emotional weight protecting life would weaken. Humans often assume rational thought alone controls behavior, but emotions are deeply connected to decision-making. Fear gives urgency to survival. Without it, logic alone may not stop reckless choices consistently. The species could become psychologically detached from mortality in dangerous ways. Philosophically, fear also gives meaning to courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage exists because fear exists. A firefighter entering a burning building despite terror is courageous precisely because danger emotionally matters. If fear vanished completely, many acts humans currently admire may lose their emotional significance. Heroism itself changes when nothing feels frightening anymore. And strangely, fear also creates beauty. Humans appreciate safety partly because danger exists. Love feels precious partly because loss is possible. Life gains emotional intensity because humans know existence is fragile. Without fear, people may stop appreciating many things deeply because emotional contrast disappears. Fear sharpens awareness of what matters. Think about standing beneath a thunderstorm, climbing a mountain, confessing love, or confronting uncertainty. Fear often accompanies life's most meaningful experiences. Without fear, existence itself may begin feeling emotionally flatter over time. At the same time, humanity's greatest achievements often emerged from confronting fear rather than eliminating it. Scientific discovery, artistic expression, social movements, and personal growth frequently require people to move through fear consciously. Fear challenges humans to evolve psychologically. Without obstacles internally, growth itself may change fundamentally. This is why ancient philosophies rarely sought total fearlessness. Stoic thinkers aimed not to destroy fear completely, but to understand and regulate it wisely. Wisdom historically meant learning how to coexist with fear intelligently rather than erasing it entirely. Modern culture sometimes misunderstands this deeply. People often believe emotionally healthy individuals feel no fear, but psychologically healthy humans still experience fear. They simply learn how to respond without becoming controlled by it completely. Fear itself is not the true problem. The real issue arises when fear becomes disproportionate, irrational, or overwhelming. Imagine a world where fear disappears, but greed, anger, jealousy, and desire remain intact. Humans may become dangerously impulsive because emotional restraint weakens while destructive impulses continue existing. Fear often slows people down long enough to reconsider actions. Without that pause, civilization itself could become unstable. Interestingly, complete absence of fear may also erase excitement. Adrenaline, suspense, anticipation, and thrill all depend partly on controlled fear responses. Humans enjoy roller coasters, horror stories, and adventure because fear activates emotional intensity safely. Without fear, many experiences may lose their emotional power entirely. This reveals something deeply paradoxical about human existence. The emotions people most desperately want to escape are often woven into the experiences that make life meaningful. Fear creates caution, but also courage, vulnerability, but also intimacy, mortality awareness, but also appreciation for existence itself. Painful emotions are not separate from human meaning. They help shape it. Perhaps the true goal is not becoming fearless, but becoming conscious of fear without surrendering to it blindly. Wisdom may begin when humans recognize which fears protect them and which fears imprison them unnecessarily. And maybe that is why fear has survived throughout evolution for so long. Because despite all its discomfort, fear reminds humans they are fragile beings living inside an uncertain universe. It forces awareness of consequence, mortality, and vulnerability. So if fear completely disappeared tomorrow, the world may initially celebrate emotional freedom. But eventually, humans may discover that fear was never merely an obstacle. It was part of the hidden architecture holding civilization, morality, survival, and meaning together quietly beneath the surface. If this video made you think differently about fear, human nature, and the emotions shaping your life, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Would you truly want to live in a world without fear? Or do you think fear serves a deeper purpose humanity cannot afford to lose? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves deep psychological and philosophical questions. And until next time, remember this: the goal is not to become fearless. The goal is to understand which fears protect your life and which only exist inside your mind.